This is a ridiculous size box. When I was out shark hunting, um, Gerber shark belly knife hunting, I should say. Kind of ridiculous, but you know what? I was looking for the Gerber shark belly knife, fishing for it, and I kept looking in the case at Walmart and I saw this one. Now, this box is giant. This is ridiculous. But the knife itself, it's not really a giant, but it's a cool knife. What I have here is a Walmart exclusive. American made Gerber. Check this out. And you might have seen these before. This is a Gerber Prodigy. But it addresses some of the issues that people had with the Gerber Prodigy. Being, of course, yes, the blade type. Everybody said if you go on Gerber's website and you look at the Prodigy, people say, I'd give it 5 stars if you gave it, pop it out of the sheath, a fine edge blade. And yes, they did, because at Walmart, they carry Gerber exclusives, also Buck exclusives, and they do little things to tweak it. Now, this one happens to have a fine edged, it is, yes, a full tang fixed blade, and it retails for $50. Now, you can catch them on sale for 46, 47 bucks. On the website, I've seen the price go anywhere from 47 to 51, 52. It's kind of strange on Walmart. It's almost like Amazon, where the prices are based off market values. Most of the time they stay pretty low, but they can climb up a little bit. So this Walmart exclusive is the color combo with the blade combo. It is an American-made Gerber. Portland, Oregon, USA. So Gerber is coming back to the American-made standards that we can appreciate. They're owned by Fisker, which is a European or overseas company. This is a U.S.-produced Gerber. 4 3/4 inch, full tang, 420 HC, ceramic coated, fine edge blade. Everything you could ask for, and I really like this color combo. Some people call it the camel color. Some people call it the desert sand. I just like it because with the black, it goes really nice. They used to always say that black and brown don't go together, but this is just proof right there that it just makes it stand out. You can find this knife in all black. You can find this knife in all black with serrated edges, but you cannot find it with brown and black with the fine edge unless you find it at Walmart. Now, the handle is glass-filled nylon, but it has a rubber overlay. And the rubber on it, it's weird because you can scratch it with your fingernail, but then rub over the top of it and the scratch goes away. So it's a really hard rubber, but at the same time, it's almost like a silicone. Like it feels sticky. It's cool. I mean, it gives it a really good grip because you have the underbelly handle of it that's very solid, but on the outside you have the texturing and that cushioning that allows you to really grip this knife. Now, this would be a camp knife. You could consider this a self-defense knife, but not really. I mean, the way the point is on this, they do call it a drop point, but it really doesn't drop too much. It's a variation on a couple designs. What is it? The LMF2. It's a short version of that. It's an in-between knife. I mean, you could use it for camp tasks that aren't too heavy. More of an everyday camp-style knife. Now, with that 420 HC steel, you would have to make sure that you put a little bit of oil on the exposed edge. But with this coating on here, the ceramic coating, and it's not listed as a diamond-like coating, it is listed as a ceramic coating, it will wear off eventually, and then you could just throw a little oil on it to make sure that blade stays nice and doesn't show any surface rust. 420 HC doesn't tend to just out and out rust. If you stick it in salt water, yeah, but it's pretty easy to keep shiny and keep clean. A little bit of oil, a little bit of love, and 420 will take you far. This glass-filled nylon rubber overlay handle. That's where I was before, and I'm going to jump back to it. Because when you're holding it, it does have a pummel. It is full tang, so when you strike and use that, you could theoretically flatten that out and use it in camp to actually nail and tap things down, or you could use it as a skull pummel in self-defense. I don't see this knife as an aggressive self-defense knife. I really see this knife as a good option for a camp knife. So if you're out camping, this is going to be the perfect size, in my opinion, the perfect weight, and the perfect fit. Now, it feels really good in the hand. All the jimping on this knife is actually in the rubber and in the poly glass filled handle. So it's not actually on the blade. So you get the use of this knife would be camp task, and you could baton with this one because it's nice and flat on the top. So if you take your wood and you put on there and you take the other piece of wood and you nail it down, it has a nice flat edge to use. And that 420 HC, it'll hold up pretty good for a task like that. I wouldn't go beating on it with a hammer, but I would use another piece of wood to hammer down and split wood. This one here, what really gets me about it wasn't just the size and the color combo, it was also the sheath. Now, they didn't have the sheath on display, but when the lady took it out of the case, I was like, wow. Because again, this is a $50 knife, and this sheath is, you have your nylon backing with your plastic actual sheath on it that comes off. Check this out. So if you wanted to take and pop this off, you have the little screws right here, and this actual sheath can come off, and you could use just this sheath. Now, that gives you unlimited possibilities with this. You can also use the whole sheath, and it'll snap right here, and then snap on. You see that these Velcro pieces keep it on this nylon part right here, but it snaps on right here, and it's really good. It's very solid. I haven't used it and worn it like that just yet. I will though, because I'm going to utilize it, but I'm just going to hang it on my belt in the normal fashion like this and have it on the side. Now, it does come with a leg strap, so if you're wanting to keep it close to your body, and that's almost a throwback to that military style with the LMF2, that you could run it through there, keep it to your leg so it doesn't have any play and it doesn't make any noise. And this knife in the sheath is virtually silent. You do get a tad bit of blade play, but not a lot, and you could actually modify that if you just warmed it up a little bit and put a little bit of pinch on this. You would keep it from rattling at all. But going in, check this out. Alright, so that's pretty solid, because you saw at the beginning when I was getting it out, you got to push this up, pull it out. You can actually fit it in, because of the design of the handle, you can fit it in both ways. So left and right handed, guess what? You don't have to pick. This knife right here is an ambidextrous sheath. That's pretty cool. And it comes from the fact that the way it's designed, if you look at the top, it's exactly the same, and on this sheath design, the knife just fits in perfectly. So I really appreciate that for such an inexpensive American-made knife. Now, what are some things that I would change about this? The blade fit and finish. I mean, yes, I have to remind myself, it was only $50 for a 4 3/4 inch full tang American-made knife. But the grind on this knife is not even, and that becomes nitpicking. But if I hold the knife like this, you can look at the top and you can see, yeah, it's a little bit off. I have to say again, if this were a $200 knife, it would be 100% inexcusable. Because it's a $50 knife, I'm going to get a little bit of leeway, and I'm going to use it. So once I start wearing this knife down and start grinding on it myself, you know what? It's going to be a moot point. So something like that, yeah, it's a knock against it. I took it out of the case and I looked at it and I said, you know what? It's the only one you got in stock. It's not like it's horribly bent or anything. The grind's just a little bit off. That happens, especially, like I said, with inexpensive knives. The 420 HC, that can be a little bit of knock against it because people want a higher grade steel. But remember, when we start using high grade steels and exotic steels, the price goes up. So if you're trying to stay in a price point, yes, 420 HC has to be one of my favorites. You know, some companies use the 440C, and that's a good steel for the price range. 420, I think the 420 to me is a little bit easier to sharpen. It doesn't hold a point or hold the edge as long, but it's fairly easy to sharpen. You do have to be a tad bit concerned about rust, So a knife like this, if you do expose it to salt water, you are going to want to clean it with fresh water and put a light coat of oil on it. But again, they put the ceramic coating on there just for that, and it is ceramic coated all the way down to the pommel. So the full tang on this, I can only imagine that if I split this handle open here and expose the full tang on it, that it would be, I'm pretty sure it's going to be coated all the way down. So if you're looking for a camp knife that is a good mid-sized fixed blade knife, and you're also looking for a Walmart exclusive, here you go. Remember, you get this color combo with the black and brown only at Walmart. You can find it on other websites with resellers that buy them and sell them, but they jack up the price. Somebody on Amazon was selling this exact knife for $88. That's a far cry. When I walked into Walmart, picked it up, and took it out for about $52 or $53 after tax. All right? So, Gerber Prodigy fine edge fixed blade knife. Add it to your collection. Take it camping. Use it. Let me know what you think. For the price, American made, I think it's a winner. And I really, really appreciate this sheath. Happy hunting, and I hope you find the fixed blade that helps you. Have a great weekend.